Here we are. It's map 3. Awesome Sauce here, live with Heno. And this map 3 forced into it, and they are going to knife for sides here on this map 3. And Heno, I mean, we've seen some great stuff here. Both these teams pretty sided, you know, decisive with both their wins. But now it's Inferno, the CT style map. But look at this. Siren and Meko apparently trying to jump up on each other's heads, and this is the duel. This is the duel here. This is what it comes down to. This knife round. Okay, I can't really cast a knife round very seriously, but it's going to come down to who jump boosts who first. No, they're just going to go straight in here. They're going to find a way to make things work here, but Magnus kills Kirby. It's a TK. He can do 1v2s. And it doesn't even matter because it's Mackie. Antoine is... Uh-oh.
Beautiful knife.
He goes down.
Beautiful knife.
Beautiful knife, and that's SJSU starting on the CT side. If they don't pick CT here, I will question my sanity for the rest of my life.
I hate Inferno, dude. The old DE don't play the map until 30 seconds left in the round, dude.
Well,
Inferno is the map where teams will smoke banana 900 times and a half, and it's just miserable. Maybe we won't see that here, but I know like once you get into like top tier CS, it's like all anyone ever does. Smoke bottom of banana, push 3 down, take control of it. Leave, have 2 people stay there, smoke it again, have somebody smoke from our side, and you smoke it again. Dude, it's just miserable. But that's, I don't know, I hope that they fix that on Inferno. Some people like it, I'm not a big fan, but that's what Inferno is. You have to use a lot of utility. If you have the choice between an M4 and armor, or a FAMAS armor and utility, FAMAS utility every single time on CT side, because utility is just so important here. But pistol round, extremely important as well. Typically on Inferno, it's like a 10-5 map in favor of the CT side. But what do you think? What do you think? Ooh, CZ, I like this. I like CZs on this map a lot because there's so many close quarters.
I have to agree with both those statements, and I think, you know, when you consider and you look at the big picture here on Inferno, it is a 10-5. I think it's a 10-5. If you're a terrorist and you only get 4, you know, it's you know, you're in bad spot. I mean, I've seen it happen, but it's not good. And now they don't see anybody coming up mid, so CTs have an idea. And they gave them banana, actually, to fall back. Ricky looking for some quick flick shots there to make this start up. And they're just playing this slow, and this is not typically how you see Inferno pistol rounds played out. I mean, you see very aggressive stuff from either side, pushing down mid. You know, we've seen a lot of teams that just get really aggressive and actually down mid. But the CTs, if they push somebody out second mid or even down mid, they would know all the terrorists are getting ready to greet Maki and Siren on this B side. Flash coming in here. Here they come to make this work, but Maki finding one, not getting another one. Siren there surviving with that CZ. Kirby chasing him down, not getting him though. Kirby actually ends up getting him there, so that's SJSU here. And a 4v2 ISO here. A little bit late here on this rotation coming in here. Looking for this frag, and they're not going to happen, so SJSU... absolutely huge pistol round. I mean, when you consider how much time they spent sitting in banana doing nothing, huge for them. I mean, the CT should have probably been more aggressive in that situation had they realized nothing was going on at first. So the mid players seeing nobody cross over to mid initially, nobody peeking out. I mean, they should have known that, but it is what it is. SJSU wins the round, and now they've got some drive-bys possible here. 2 MAC-10s and some MP7s.
Yeah, information is just so important in the game of Counter-Strike, especially on pistol rounds too. The T side doesn't take apartments or halls control, and you have to realize something suspect is going to be coming out. So, banana control. But Kirby showing you how important it is to hold that construction. Maki getting a kill in the C-dub, Ken getting taken down as well. It's a 4v4 now. 2 CTs are extremely low, sitting at 35 and 20 HP. Things are going to be slowing down here though. But as I was saying, you need to make sure that you hold construction as the CT team. If it's going to be a 4v4 or a 4v3 and you're in favor, you need to hold construction so that your team can retake it. If the T's take construction control, it's extremely difficult to come back from that.
USC getting 1 frag here, but not 2. And now the terrorists a huge advantage, gun advantage, and positional advantage. No, not really, but they do have second mid and upper, you know, kind of upper mid control. They don't have brackets yet. They don't have the lane side. They don't have the art side. Siren and Maki there at B site playing a, you know, pretty much a very standard CT hold in this type of round. And ISO, for some reason, is going to go ahead and fall off. And I think what he's trying to do at this point is hear for sound on banana because he is aiming that way. So he's trying to hear what's happening, and here comes the B hit. The CT's all Kirby getting that Kobe On to Maki, as I probably should say Jenkins for those of you that watch Division I college basketball as well. Nonetheless, Magus coming in there. ISO getting a frag. Siren again in the smoke, being so effective, getting one. But it's all down to this. Hex and a 1v2. And it's possible for him to do this.
It's so scary as a T-side team to take this, but Hex is sitting in a 2v1. He does have Ricky down to 39 HP. He's got a deagle though. Let's see if he can find some headshots here. He's going to have to take Antoine down extremely early on, but Ricky, he's going to probably test first. That's not the case. He's going to run away. He's going to play this smart. And like the fact that he's actually getting a little bit less aggressive. Takes the SMG, takes him down as well. 2v1, turns into a 2v none. They get the round. SJSU holding off that eco round coming out of USC. But it's so scary on Inferno. You don't want to go halls because you can get CZ'd really, really easily. You don't want to go banana because there's so many close quarter spaces. So you have to buy Molotovs. You have to make sure you flush the CTs out of those little pesky areas, or else you're going to get CZ'd, or you're going to get 5-7 with the one bullet in the head. It's just so difficult to deal with the anti-ecos as a T-side team once you went around. But SJSU showing us how to do it. They pick up the round. And now we're going to have USC. Just a few pistols here. And I like the decision not to buy too much, because again, utility is going to be very important. It's probably worth having the smoke on the first gun round than it is to have a 250 this round as well.
Fantastic to see here as SJSU working hard to try to make this work. They do have 2 rounds. They do have that rifle. They're on AZN. We've seen some things he's been able to do with rifles as well. They do have some bracket control, not all of it though. Brackets referring to top mid. I just want to make that clear. Top mid there with the part of wrapping to arch and the part wrapping to truck side, which is also called lane side, just to define the terms and make sure the audience understands the terms I'll be using. And here we go, ISO. You can spot Ricky there. He does have the USP. He gets him. He gets a headshot on him. That was huge. This is going to be enough there. Siren holding alone in the site. Here comes the terrorist coming in here to get this bomb plant. They are going to plant it for construction area. And that's, you know, in the garden area, and that's okay. That should possibly work out for them, as the CTs don't have any utility. They don't have anything to really lose here, so they might as well try to get some guns off this thing. But, yeah, good round there by SJSU nonetheless. Can they hold on to it? Here comes Hex. He gets shot in the face. That MAC-10 drive-by being so strong here. Looking for another one. MAC-10s making a difference here. All this money coming in. Kirby already has 3. Kirby, can he get 4? He is going to spot him and gets 4, so that's a good chunk of cash. $2,400 coming in for him. Or $1,600, I lied. $1,600. You know, I can do math. Not much better, but I can do it. But nonetheless, he's got $7,800. Antoine is $73. And this is where I think you will start seeing an op coming out. I think that T-side opping, I think, is... Oh, no, they're not going to do it. They're actually not going to op. And this is the decision I was waiting for, right? Do you opt T-side? Some teams like it, some teams don't, right? And so now it's going to come down to who really gets the first pick and can open things up. But we're not seeing what you talked about, Hanno, and I know I've been talking for an extended period of time. What you talked about is the smokes, get aggressive banana control. We're not seeing that yet, but this is also the first legit gun round. So
right. And Derpy's the only one decided to go with FAMAS and utility, so we have a lot of rifles out with very limited utility on the CT side. So it's going to give the T side a lot of room to open things up, a lot of room to, you know, they don't have to use their utility to take banana control. So that's what you want to do. Is like you want to force them to use their resources before they execute into a site, but the T side didn't have to do it. So if you look at the resource scenario now, you have a bunch of smokes and flashes on the T side and 0 for the CT side. You have 2 smokes, but with a minute left, they're probably going to use them prior to execution. So we'll see what happens, but I'm curious to see. As far as the op question goes, it depends on obviously what you want to do for a strat. If it's a fast-oriented strat, then you don't really want the op. But at the same time, if you buy an op on first gun round, you have to deal with it the second and third and fourth rounds so that you're going to have the op in your hand. So look at this fast execute going towards Moda.
They're trying to make their way in here, and they got through Arch. 3 people on the A site. They don't even know. This is disastrous for USC. They aren't even aware. I think they are now. First they just had no idea. So now the split comes in here. CT's actually doing okay at this point. Siren getting 1. Siren is going to get 2. Wow. He does pull it out. He pulls a P2000 out, gets another one, and that's actually huge for them. They really got split on this, and I don't understand how they're able to Antoine getting a spray. Hex trading him out. And Magnus and Ricky Shaw playing in a crossfire position, but Ricky Shaw, if he gets too aggressive and peeks and dies, that's going to put Ricky or Magnus in a bad spot. Siren does spot one out. It's down to Magnus, and he goes down. So USC, they did let him through Arch, which is really weird to me. I don't know if they're aware of it or not. It didn't look like they were, but regardless, they win the round on the retake. Siren doing a great job, ends the round on a 3K in the side of construction, getting those frags and making things happen. A good round for USC for sure.
Siren saved that round all by himself. I mean, he held the B bomb, held construction like he needed to. If he goes down, it goes from a 4v3 situation in favor of USC to a 4v3 situation with SJSU also taking construction control. So completely that one frag that he got with that pistol with very limited HP saved them there. So beautiful round from Siren. I think he's probably, like I said last map, he's impressed me with his aim thus far.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's looking pretty good.
Very, very impressive, and all these players are definitely good. But I do want to go ahead and reiterate what you said. Siren has done some really sick stuff with his aim, and I'm not saying some of these other players don't have good aim, but specifically with him, his pure aim is very good. Siren though fighting with Ricky Shaw on Banana, some damage exchange, no deaths yet, and the T's playing this slow. CT's playing really passive. They've got a 2-3 setup here, going from B to A site respectively, and the CTs are actually got a crossfire set up there, typical stuff there at CT, but they're not playing aggressive down Banana, and that's something that I think needs to change. If they win this round, they can force really not much of a buyout of SJSU, but if they don't win this round, they're going to be in a bad situation. Maki setting up for a flash here at B, and they're playing this very slow, the terrorists are, but now they've got lane side, and this is when the crossfire is so important. They need to throw fire and cut this off, and the USC doesn't even have, they haven't even thrown fire, they're just taking the aim tools, not even using utility. So ISO goes down, as Hex in the site, gonna find one, goes down. So a 2-for-2 trade, not ideal, but there's Kane coming in, gets another. With that fire, it's Kirby. And a 1v2, Kirby has to pull something insane off this M4 against Siren with this aim. Really solid match. They peek into it, Siren wins the win, or the duel. So they are gonna win the round, USC wins it. Even though they didn't throw fire lane side, I was a little surprised to see that. I can't remember if I still had a fire, had incendiary, but I did see the potential for that fire to be thrown. Instead, the T's come in there, get one, they get traded out, and Hex holds long enough for ready to rotate in, and Kirby with a fire kill and an M4. I mean, there's just really good stuff from them.
I like the aggressive play from the T-side player too, recognizing that it's a 2v1. You have to turn this into two 1v1s with 25 seconds left. If he just goes for the straight plant, they're likely just going to push him. So you have two options. Fake the plant, hopefully one peeks you, you take his head off, and then you got to try to plant again. But instead, he pushed up, but I think it's perfectly fine. Pushed up, looked for a frag, didn't quite get it. So good play from him, didn't quite capitalize off of it, but USC turning things around here. That first gun row is absolutely huge. This could be a 5-0 and then buying guns again, but in this scenario, it's actually 3-2. So because that one kill construction, I'm gonna go back to it, that one kill construction, they're able to have a bunch of utility that you said. Remember, like they had the Molotovs, they had the incineraries, they needed to use those things to stop the T-side from executing. So it's very, very important for the utility. Let's see what the T-side decides to do. They have 0 smokes, 0 flashes, a Deagle, 2 250s, 2 Tech 9s, and they just need to explode here.
Good if they could do this here. The terrorists here are playing this very differently here. This time they're getting the brackets control. There's Kane coming in with a spray, moving. He's able to get it, but takes a trade with Magnus. That's not ideal for the CTs in a 1-for-1 trade like that. The terrorists don't even have really that much to use at this point. They do pick up that AK on Kirby, and the terrorists able to move all the way around. Those CTs actually in B site. And the terrorists are actually aware of this. Kirby, pushed up, should be able to cut off this if they can cross, and they are going to be able to get across. Going to be planted on barbecue grill. And Kirby, a nice frag with that AK, and they turned it around here. ISO 1 health, Hex with 100 coming in, and I think they realized they just lost this round.
How did this happen? Like, I don't even... I must have missed it. How did they just take Banana without any conflict whatsoever? Did they over-rotate?
I'm confused as well. I mean, they like, basically the terrorists, SJSU had the ability to get Arch side. They got Arch side. It was a 1-for-1 trade with Kirby, and I think it was King. I don't remember exactly what happened, but there was a 1-for-1 trade through Arch, and then I think it was Magnus got a frag.
That's
and,
what, okay.
And then from there, they were able to get behind some of the people at A, and then realize, okay, there's people here. We're running to B. They bolted. And they were able to find a way to make it happen.
So in this scenario, you just give up 2 guns as CT side team, right? And it's 2 to 4. So you either save or you just go with a force. And I don't mind going for the force here because pistols are so strong. So the fact that they're going to have this many guns, I think is okay. So they're going to have 2 pistols, 3 rifles. If they kill the T side, you have a possibility of resetting the CT or the T side's money. So I think that this buy is okay. The only problem is, if you lose, you're going to have to save 2 rounds in a row to really get any sort of economy back. So you're looking at a gamble here. Either it's going to go 3-4 with T-side possibly ecoing, or it's going to be complete disaster, and it's going to end up being something similar like 7-2 with you finally getting guns on the 10th round. So they need to pick up this round. ISO gets taken down really early. I don't know if I agree with the aggression without having your teammate there. It's kind of a crazy play to make with a pistol, but that might cost them.
Well, you're right about that, and I like to call that more of a one and done spot. You know, we talk about CS and being, you know, about angles and stuff, but a one and done spot, for example, is a place where somebody goes and they're expected to get a frag and die. I think of that position as like sandwich on Mirage, and in this map, I would say apartments alone is that, because right, if you get a kill, typically if they're doing an execute, the terrorists are, you're going to get refragged. Now, if you get the kill, you maybe aren't done. So, you know, maybe I am wrong. But here's Simon here in the fire. He does spray and get one, but he's going to fall. And the CTs are down in a 2v4. The terrorists open this up.
This is a huge problem. So like I said, for the CTs have any sort of money whatsoever, they're going to have to try to save 2 rounds in a row. I mean, it's going to be $0. They just won a round prior, so they only have $1,400 to the last round. They're going to get $1,900 this round for losing, but they're in some trouble, man. USC, their CT side, isn't looking too good against SJSU's pick-oriented strats, and they have executions, as you saw. They know how to throw mollies on car. They know how to throw good CT smokes, spindle smokes. They look pretty good as far as executions go. So USC Trojans, I think they'll be happy to get away with this in a 8-7. If they get 8 rounds on their CT side, I think they'll be pretty happy with the results, considering it's going to be probably 2-7 coming up pretty shortly. But the one and done spots, you're right. The thing I like about apartments is that if you play somebody pistol with apartments and he does get that 1 kill and then another T-side player looks to trade, you can kind of have somebody else there watching his back for him. So you have one person, we call it, it's 3 people sit in apartments, right? You have one person sit in bedroom, one person looking down the stairs, and then one person sitting on the stairs. And then the person sitting in bedroom looks at the guy window, and then you have 2 other people looking at the stairs. That way you can kind of trade, and then finally, hopefully, you guys 2-for-1 it and pick up a gun out of it. But that just wasn't the case. He was all by himself. Hex, let's see if he's going to get aggressive somewhere with the M4, and he's not, which I don't agree with. I think that he needs to be the big guy to make the play. Like a big boy play right here is he gets 2 or 3 kills, his teammates pick up some guns, they might be able to pick up this round. With him playing passive, it's giving the T's the ball in their court, and they can decide where they want to go. If they find that the M4 is, say, banana, and then they can just rotate right off. So why is he throwing the flash? You know what I mean? Like, he has the gun. Why is he throwing the flash? It doesn't make much sense. So Ricky Shaw taking down 1 and 2. Kirby taking down 1 of his own as well. Kang and Ice are the last 2 left alive with pistols. Let's see if Antoine can actually pick up the kill on the Kang, and he does. Turns around. A little bit of a 180 there. Kills ISO as well. Flawless round for the T side. 5 players left alive. Cashing them some money to save up. 14 and 3 for Kirby right now. This boy is on fire, dude. He looks pretty good.
We need to see USC change something here, and I think honestly, what it comes down to is USC. What I think needs to happen here is they need to play a 4-1 setup. Okay, they need to play 4 at A, 1 at B, right? And that A player is just there for info. If they can call the rotation in long enough and possibly get a pick on the A side and make it a 5v4, and then still have that 1 there, they could do that. Now, that's a passive approach. Another approach they could do, and Ricky Shaw just shattered one of the people at A side.
Woohoo, baby.
I think he's about to do it to get They're just losing these aim duels at this point. They're going to get the site and smoke it. But another thing I think USC needs to do is they need to start getting aggressive control banana. They are not fighting well there. And what's happening is they are getting smoked and torched. There's Kang, a nice frag. But Ricky Shaw rips him out through the smoke. That was huge from Ricky. Ricky coming on fire right now with a 3K. Still possibly for the ace if he chases these players down. I don't believe he's going to do that, but huge round for SJSU.
Ricky Shaw coming up banana, dumping on the Opry who's sitting at the top of the car. Jesus, that was a beautiful shot from Ricky. He also gets a second frag as well and says, all right, That's banana. Let's take it and let's go to town. So they do get the kill. The shot picking up a third as well with 2 CTs left alive. Siren and ISO looking to just save their guns. Again, like we mentioned, it's going to be 2-7, and they're not going to have any guns this round either. So I think that if you're USC, you have to force again, and I know that it's miserable to just keep forcing and forcing and forcing, but you have Siren and ISO, drop 2 FAMASes. Buy 2 FAMASes here, drop them for your teammates, buy a little bit of utility, and see if you can get something going here. Play a little bit more passive, or go with the option of smoke the bottom of banana, like you mentioned. Have 3 players go to the bottom of banana, get that banana control, and just have 1 person sit at the bottom and just continue to smoke it off, right? Like, make the T's push through the smoke, or use utility to get there. If you're going to continue to play passive on the CT side, you're going to give up too much map control. But I don't think they're opting to do any of that. I think they're just going to continue to play that they've been playing. If they don't change, like you said, then it's going to end up being maybe a 10-5 for the T side.
Yeah, that would not be good for USC. I like you went in depth. I really love the analysis. I appreciate it. And I'm here with the Class A analysis here. And we do have USC in shambles. They need to win this round. They have lost. Let's see how many they've lost in a row. They have lost 4. They're going to be on max loss bonus if they lose this round. But again, here comes this B hit. The CT's in sight, trying to throw some counter splashes here. Really not able to do much here, but ISO actually gets 1 and 2, and that's huge. Magnus trades him out, and Hex with this Deagle. He needs to get that M4. He needs to go find that now. He needs to be careful, but he needs to go get that now to try to help out. And he's just going to hold there, actually, and he eventually will realize nobody's there. He's going to pick this M4 up, and he should be able to try to do something with it. So, good round there by USC at this point, but they do have to be careful. Siren over there under porch.
I don't like his positioning whatsoever. I think in this scenario, you just need to play passive. It's a 4v3. Make them trade.
You might bite those words if AZN, if he does get him through this flash, he is going to go ahead and spray him. Gets 1, goes for 2. It doesn't matter if we like it or not. He is able to get 2 in that position. Antoine alone in a 1v3. And Siren, again, I mean, I completely agree with you.
I forgot that he's nutty at aiming.
You're right. Why? What's going on here? And I think the off angle there, and that's an off angle I think on porch. For me personally, when I look at how many times I see that played, for me, it was a good job by Siren there to see that flash coming over, not get flashed, and able to pick him. So he is able to make us bite our tongues a little bit. And I guess we'd expect nothing less, right?
Yeah, I mean, Caster's curse. I say one thing, I don't think I agree with that. And they're like, let me show you what's up, baby. Yeah, contradict me, and then they go to town and make it happen. So, but no, Siren again with the beautiful aim got himself out of a little bit of a jam there. If he gets taken down, you only have 1 CT player left in pit in a 3v3. The 3 players truck side push the guy pit. They kill him. Ends up maybe being a 2v2 after that. It can all go downhill, and it's very risky for him to take that duel. He took it. He won. I just think it's better to do something else. It's hard to instill that risk factor to some players where you're like, well, I already got the kills. Well, yeah, well, you could have done it better. But I'm not going to get too far into that. Siren, beautiful play. We'll end with that. As they come up towards mid, Siren looking again, just maybe straight through the smoke. Doesn't quite land any bullets at all. He's going to get flashed. He's going to get some trouble here. He doesn't have any ammunition. And there's Maki sitting on balcony with Kang looking to help out. Ooh, Kang, beautiful spray control. Maki taking out 2 as well. Ricky Shaw and C-Dub, the last 2 left alive. Let's see if C-Dub can make something happen as Ricky goes towards middle. 1 CT player playing towards pit. C-Dub looking to sneak around. 1 person be peeking. Hax gets taken down. Ricky Shaw, another beautiful headshot thus far. He gets flanked. ISO gets C-Dub. 3v1 now.
Ricky in a hard spot. Maki takes him out. So it's a huge round for the USC Trojans. And they are going to have a good job done. That's going to reward them a little bit, although they're a little bit low on money. They're going to be able to buy fully. That's good for them. And the terrorists here, they got 1 with 8,000 and 1 with 1,300, and they are going to buy here. So the full AK buy coming in, and SJSU here, I think what needs to happen from them is you need to just pick a site and bulldoze, because the fast stuff they're doing on the B site is working. So let's see what he can do. Ricky, again, being so aggressive in this B, and the really solid job, so far in this half with these picks. He's been working at B side, just trying to get info. And he's alone here. If he does peek this and spot somebody, he does call the op out and do some damage. So Hex, falling for the bait of the knife peek, goes and shoots it. And now they know where the op is. And now they're going to work apartments. And the terrorists in SJSU are going to have a lot of map control right now.
Siren, nice shot to Boiler. 4v5. This is when you need to just turtle up, as we call it, and play passive. Somebody should be playing library, one person pit, one person site, very close to what they're doing. This is perfectly fine from Kang. I like the positioning from the CT side. It makes SJSU execute somewhere. But they've been executing B almost every single time, and like you mentioned, their B executes have been phenomenal. Let's see if ISO and Hex can actually hold it this time. They do have the utility to do so. I lied, they only have one flash now.
Coming in here, Ricky trying to prod for info. And Ricky needs to find his way into this. Ricky fire coming in, though. ISO doesn't care because he's on the box. He's on first oranges. Can they stop it? Here it comes. Hex coming in here. Trade coming in. Hex again with the top. Needs to stay surviving. He does go for the no-scope and fall. But the CTs do die at some point. But the CTs are... Oh, look at this. Siren flashes himself through and goes down. The aggression, unfortunately, bites him. 4 seconds left. The terrorists aren't going to have enough time to plant. The CTs just need to stay alive. And they are going to win the round on top of that. I think Maki's going to win. He's not going to get him. So USC wins the round simply because they couldn't get the bomb and plant. I mean, that's really the bottom line what happened.
Good hold from the CTs, trading 2 for 2, but the retake after, like you mentioned, couldn't get that bomb down. But they're looking pretty good, USC, thus far. After getting hard reset on their money multiple times prior, they're looking to be a pretty good team once they actually have some money and some utility. So their CT side, if they want pistol, this might be a whole different story, but SJSU, they have plenty of utility and plenty of guns as well. We do have a Mag 7 coming at ISO. Just throwing that one-way smoke. That cheeky little bugger. Let's see if he actually gets the Mag 7 kill with it.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I mean, consider what's been happening with USC coming back into this is they were getting pummeled at first, and now they're back into it. And this is good to see here with ISO. This Mag 7 gets 1. Can he get 2? And he gets 2. So that's huge. That's $1,800 for him. And this is absolutely phenomenal. Now he just needs to get this rifle, and he just needs to fall back.
Depends on Hex.
Well, you're right. And here comes the 3. He's spraying through this Hex with this op. Can he finish it off with a 3K Hex? He's going to go ahead and peek into this and miss the op shot, but they know where he is now. Hex again going for it. He closes it out with a 3K. And Hex, the MVP of that round. I mean, just insane.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hex, nice 3K. ISO getting 2 kills with the Mag 7, as you mentioned, as he split on the B-bomb site. So 2 huge plays. ISO, if he goes down early, they're going to pinch Hex, and ISO gave Hex the opportunity to get those 3 kills, and they focus on Banana. So great job by both players. 6-7, SJSU. Probably want to pick up a few more, and just you want to pick up as many rounds as you can, obviously. But I think they'll be happy with 7. 7 is a lot of rounds on T side.
Oh, it certainly is. And now we have Hex here with this 5-7 up close. There we see the P90 come out from ISO. It's good to see there, P90 that round. And USC, like you said, 8-7 would be absolutely great at this point, and I was doubting it. But now they are resurgent in their efforts to try to make this work. Okay, Derpy there is going to find 1 there. With that on 45, spray coming out. Siren getting 1, spraying and going for another one. And Siren, it's down to Antoine. And it's Antoine's head got ripped off. So now, at USC, making some money there. And they've got everything they need to win this next round and win this half 8-7. But SJSU, regardless of what happens in this next round, had a good half. So SJSU here, working hard.
Have we had any ops on T side? I don't think we've had any ops on T side.
Well, we had excuse me, we had a little bit of CT ops. We didn't have any T ops though. No, it doesn't look like we have.
Look at this fast strat. Oh, it's anticlimactic. Siren getting the first kill on the Kirby though. And he's just hiding over there. He gets super aggressive. Siren getting a 2nd kill. Ricky Shaw getting the trade on it. 4v2 scenario now. Ricky Shaw, Antoine versus Maki, ISO, Hex, and Kang. There's Maki doing a little bit of damage, but he gets taken down to 34 HP. ISO gets a kill on a Ricky Shaw. It's all into Antoine now. It's been 5 rounds straight for USC Trojans. Can they bring it to a 6th round straight? And it'll be 8-7.
This is what you said. This is what you said. They just need to, find a way to make it 8-7. And, they were down 2-7 for them to win out. Antoine, though, making it dangerous, but they are going to win this half 8-7. So USC, 8 rounds there towards the end. And at this point, a huge victory for them considering they were down 2-7. And now this is where the best of 3 is decided. The best of 3 is decided on this map, Inferno. It was pretty much a slaughter for both teams, isolating here from the T side to the CT side. And now it's going to be this. USC and SJSU fighting for this upper bracket semifinal to get to the finals. Can they do it? And that's really the question here. So I'm Awesome Sauce GTV. Go by Awesome Sauce. You can follow me at Awesome Sauce GTV, or you could follow Heno as well at Heno CS. HEINO CS as well. Just give us a follow on Twitch. Give us a follow, twitch.tv/AVGL, and the CSGO Lounge as well, that we're 40-60. Not really sure. I guess it is a pretty close game. SJSU, at that venture here, they need to find a way to have a huge CT side. They are in a good position as well.
I think that if they pick up pistol, it'll definitely help out, obviously. But if they lose pistol here and it goes 10-8 and they're on T side, that's going to be probably a pretty big problem for them. But I think that if it ends up being 11-7 going into the first gun round, then they can kind of be okay. So we'll see what happens here. We do have 2 nades, 2 flashes, and the smoke coming out of the CT side. No kit though. And T side, they have a smoke and a molly. One on Mackie, molly on ISO. It's going to be a B hit. Here's that fast smoke. And here's a fast strat coming out. Magnus getting the first kill on the Siren. Beautiful headshot. Can they hold this off, though? 4 more T's to deal with. Ricky Shaw getting a kill. Hex trading one as well. Magnus is taking on ISO. Hex getting his 2nd kill of the round here. 3v2 now. Hex is going to get aggressive on the Kirby here. No, Antoine. Headshot through the wall. Getting a kill on the Mackie. Hex, the last player left alive, takes down Kirby. 2v1 situation now. That USP. Tap away. C-Dub playing it smart with the Tech 9. 24 bullets in that gun. Just spraying. Hoping to run into Hex. Gets the kill. 2 players left alive for SJSU. So Trojans, this might be a problem for them. I think that they're probably the decision here, right? You go AKs 2nd round or 3rd round, sorry, or do you go Tech 9 armor here, depending on how many rounds you're down? I don't know, man. This is questionable. I think that on most maps you wouldn't want to do that, but because this is so CT-sided and you're down so many rounds, I don't think that going with Tech 9 armor would be too terrible here, but they're not going to. They're just going to go with some 250s. 1 smoke. Maybe they can make a play out of it.
Yeah, 100% right. I really don't have anything else fantastic to add on that, but here comes USC down mid. Trying to make some things happen here. Antoine, 1 frag. Oh no, Antoine's going to spot more. That MP7, so good. And here's Magnus helping him out. They know where the last one is. Here comes a grenade at King. Derby says, nope, I'm getting 2 with this P250. And I'm going to find a way to make this possible. He needs to pick up that MP7. He does have it in hand. And he's keeping the P250 out. I think for the reason of he doesn't have armor, but he is going to go ahead and get in a spot to reload. He is going to do that. And now the CTs are set up, and can't really call this a 3-1-1, or excuse me, a 1-1-1, but I am going to call it that because see one of the CTs they're playing outside of Arch, and I guess in this situation, this is really all you can do here. You just have to wait and see what happens. Do you let him try to plant? Do you let him make some noise? Because he didn't really spend that much into it there, and finally Kirby takes him out with an MP9, but it was close, I know. It was super close.
Absolutely. Gets that dink, gets that kill, then it turns into a 1v1 on the A bomb site. If he gets that kill as well, we're all down to a... if you split up it like that, like you mentioned, if it's a 1-1-1 and you split up like that and you get taken down and the T's just hit some nutty shots, then it can be a problem is 3 1v1s. That's what the T-side player wants, right? He doesn't want a 1v3. He doesn't want a 1v2. He wants 3 1v1s. And that's his best chance of winning the round. So he almost had it there. Gets a dink, but CT side, pretty good anti-eco there. T-side picking up the AKs. But they're going to have to deal with a lot of utility. There's 5 smokes of the CTs here. 3 Molotovs. Some SMGs, but mostly rifles. 4 rifles on the CT side, 5 rifles on the T side. This is why I was saying it might be questionable to buy just Tech 9s and armor of the previous round and do something quick, but USC Trojans, 8 rounds on their T side, SJSU sitting at 9 on their CT side. This is going to be a big round for both teams.
A big round it is, and you see the buys here are definitely interesting here, but SJSU, I don't think, I'm a little surprised. You know, they do have that MP7 still on Kirby, and I guess it's just how it's going to be here with Siren getting caught a little bit on his teammate, but he ends away. And of course, you never expect anything less from him to get one. And they get into the site now, the USC opening this up big. This is huge for them. They're spraying and making things work, and they should be able to win this round, but they do have some people that are lit pretty bad. And that really the only way USC is going to lose this round is if they throw this round away with some people that have low health.
Absolutely. Siren sitting at 32, Mountain 25. ISO, they're all low now. 21, 32, 25, 40, but with the amount of angles that you have to deal with getting into the A bomb site, it's going to be really difficult for the CT, especially in a 2v4 situation. Smart of them just to save here. They have 2 players left. A little bit of cash. C-Dub, Kirby, sitting above 2K, Ricky Shaw, and then accumulated by his teammate Afamas. I assume the CTs will definitely force here. They'll buy CZs, possibly some Famases. With USC Trojans, beautiful round. All 5 rifles left alive actually at the end of the round, which is good. Save some money. Are we going to see the same thing that SJSU did to the Trojans, is just pick them apart and then B execute almost every single time? That was a nice A execute that round. But we're going to see the force here.
It's a valid question. I mean, a very, very good question here. And let's look at the kill distribution as well. Siren 16, lowest on USC's. Maki with 8. Okay. Antoine with 14 on SJSU. Lowest on them is AZN at 4. And AZN probably not having the best game of his life right now, but they need to step it up. They need to win this out here. They've got a situation on their hands. They need to try to find a way to do something, and that's a good way to start it out there with SJSU spraying through that smoke and saying, you know what, you guys need to back off.
Gets 2 kills with the smoke. That's quite frustrating, especially for the Trojans here. But C-Dub down to 19 HP.
Nice job by them, and now Maki here over at mid, working and trying to make things work. He's trying to work on his stuff, you know what I'm saying? But look at this Kirby, so aggressive, takes one down to 17. They're going to go ahead and smoke this cross, and I don't know if they're going for this or not, but I think that at this point, you have put all of your energy into this B site. Wait for those smokes to go away, force some utilities out, and maybe just pummel in there and hope there's only 2 there. And if they can trade in, they might be able to be in a 1v3 situation with a bomb going down. But that, it's really just going to be onslaught at B if they are able to do it. So here they go. What I anticipated is going to happen. Here comes the execute. Maki going and actually for the tell alone, actually spraying violently, just looking for something. Ricky gets one, and that's going to shut that down. And I say that, Hex gets a frag. So now they're going to get into a 2v3 instead of a 1v3. I stand corrected. Oh, look at this. Maki, I know the x-ray's there, and he can't see through the smoke, but we can. It was so close to there. But all these CTs are already in position. And this is bad because now USC doesn't know that. They have to play off of this. Their spray coming in. It's not going to happen. The FAMASas are too strong, and SJSU will win this round. Nice job by them. And USC did a good job getting into the site. When you lose 2 that early, it puts yourself in a bad spot.
Absolutely. I think most teams would favor for T-side. I mean, if they were given the option, like, do you find a 2v3 scenario favorable if you have the B bomb site? I think most of them will say yes. Like, that's perfectly fine. I'll take that every day. If I have 2 Ts left alive, come in 3 Ts, 3 CTs having to try to retake, I think that's a good chance. Probably a 50-50 roughly. So, CTs, though, the only way that we're going to lose that round is if they got picked off. They didn't get picked off too bad. If it came down to just aim duels, you don't want to take the 1v1 duels. If it's a 5v3, you just want to trade away. You want to pair up with your teammate and say, if I go down, please get the kill. Trade away to the point where you guys actually have control. So, T side, they're going to be able to buy a lot of utility. CTs as well. This is a 60-40 game, man. This is coming to be pretty close. I think that SJSU is obviously the favorable side, but they don't have much money. So it's only a matter of time before the Trojans, if they reset SJSU's money, they can pick up a few free rounds where the CTs have to save.
Down to the wire, and this is the kind of CS we like to see here. Map 3 of this semi-final upper bracket. Antoine Spraying a little bit through that smoke there. Does kind of smell something happening, but if he peeks into this, he gets a team flash from his teammate. He's able to get 2, and that was a huge flash by his teammate. I couldn't actually see who it was, but it was huge. And now the aggressive positioning coming in from SJSU on Banana. They do drop one. And now USC is going to work their way into the site. Ricky Shaw, frag for them, and now it's at USC in a 2v4. And not looking good for them. They are going to get the plant, though. They're going to plant it for CT. But the problem is they don't have CT control, but then again, getting the bomb down in this situation, better than nothing. Waiting for this retake to happen. Ricky comes in. It's Maki in a 1v4. No way this is going to happen. And I say that, maybe I'm wrong. He gets 2 quick ones. They aren't peeking together. He's got 6 bullets and he goes down. CW just spraying that AK moving in. He knows he has to make something happen. They are going to get the defuse. And SJSU winning this round is going to have USC, I think they're going to be able to buy here. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not going to be able to buy. And so now they're going to force a save, and SJSU could run away with this if they do this properly.
That went from me thinking, like, oh, God, this is terrible for USC, right? Like, SJSU, they have 4 players left alive. They're going to win with 4 players. They're going to save a bunch of money. And then Maki comes up with 2 huge kills. Like, even though they didn't win the round, like, you got to think of, like, the good stuff that happened. Maki picks up 2 kills. That 3 can buy 2, 2 can't buy 3. That might play a factor later on in the round, like later on in the half, rather. So I don't think it's... the light at the end of the tunnel is, you know, it's not that bad. We don't have to climb up this huge giant hill where they have a bunch of money. CTs are still on very, very little money. $250. Everyone's less than 1K right now. So it's only a matter of time. Again, Trojans, they just need to win 1 round to bring this thing back. But SJSU has been playing phenomenal thus far. Their T side was absolutely amazing. Their CT side just needs to hold off a little bit longer, and they'll pick up this map as well.
SJSU here, up 11-9, and I think the terrorists are saying something very, very apparent. They want to go with this A site, and I guess they want to get close and do these engagements. Here comes the flash out, limited utilities, but they are going to go ahead and do it there. Magnus denying this so far at this point. Hex up there. Oh, Hex, a beautiful headshot. That could add some excitement into this round as Hex gets a nice headshot. And is he going to find more than that? They're going for the spray, Magnus. Hex, can he get another headshot? This would be, oh, and he does. Hex making believers out of non-believers right now. And he's got 2 with this deagle. Can he find more? Hex peeking, no, he cannot, but that was great to see. That pure aim by Hex there. A lot of respect for him as well.
Absolutely. Getting those kills, important frags. So, $3,700. They bought a little bit too much last round, I think. I think that they've... I don't know, man. I think there was like an all or nothing, right? Like you either buy last round or you save to the point where you can actually buy a lot this round. They don't have a whole lot. They have 2 AKs with no utility. They only have a Tech 9 with some utility, and the other 2 AKs look pretty decent, but it's not a full buy. I feel like they've kind of given 75% of their cash into this round, 25 into the last one. Why not just go all out one of the rounds? I think that they're gambling a little bit too much, but SJSU up 12-9. To the USC Trojans, who are on the T side. So,
I couldn't agree with you more. And it really, a T side Inferno, you can't take risks like that when you're, especially when you're down like this in a best of 3 on the 3rd map. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think they didn't read their economy properly, and I think you're right about that. But here we go, smoke coming in here. Oh no, it was a flash. My bad. So Kirby does throw that flash and smoke. So now they got the smoke down, and Kirby, and the terrorists. I think they're talking. I'm sure that they're talking right now, going, okay. What do? We have Maki up here. Maki is going to throw a smoke. And I don't... Oh, he is going to fire off pit, so he's trying to keep these A players here. I think so the B players can actually do something, but I don't know if CTs are really falling for it. They've kind of played a little bit more passive inside here, Hino.
Smoke's coming down as well. Hold this on.
It's just such a slow round, you know. I mean, really not much to talk about at this point. I mean, they're just playing it so slow. But look at this. Silent doesn't care. He's going to walk through the smoke, the spray. Finds one. Can he get another one? And no, but Kang does. So they're going to open up the site by walking through smoke. Heck, shooting at the chicken on the ground. I think he was looking for a winner chicken dinner, but the chicken runs away. And it's
Maki
SJSU.
getting a flank kill as well. If you look over on the other end of the map, Maki,
yes.
So it's a 4v2 now. 2 of the players pretty low. The money in this.
Coming in here, Heno, but oh no, look at this, the terrorists. They don't have a lot of health. Simon doesn't care, he gets 1. down to Maki versus AZN. Both have limited health. Maki wins the duel, so...
A retake, though.
I
Jesus, SJSU.
What is happening?
They almost retook that with 2 people, 2v4, and they almost retook a B bomb site? That's insane, man. Like, really good play from SJSU. It's just, they were down numbers. That was an extremely good try. It's just, what are you going to do when you have to go against 4 players in that B bomb site, you know? So, SJSU, valiant effort for sure. And then Trojans, good job taking the bomb site. You had Siren getting the opening kill once again, and Tree Fragger. But this is what I'm talking about. Look at the money. This game is so close. In the money situation for the CTs, they lose 1 round. They win 3 in a row. They lose 1 round, and now they're on an eco. And they don't even have that much money either. Kirby, $1,300. C-Dub, $1,450. And they were talking about that chipping away, right? And this is where it comes down. It comes down to USC not winning the rounds, but chipping away to the point that they're going to have easier rounds later on.
Yeah, valid point there. So this is really a drawn-out best of 3. We are now in the 3rd map, Inferno here, and SJSU here with these pistols, no armor coming in. They are taking it slow. And of course, as a CT, they're going to take it slow. They have really nothing to do with it. They did stack the A side, and they did stack the correct side, it does appear. It's one going into B slowly for the terrorists. The CTs are in the side, and Siren is trying to mop this up, make this done right now, goes to the spray, doesn't go down. And SJSU really putting up a good fight. These pistols, actually, and it's 2v2. Kang, oh, look at this, Ricky and Kang, the duel. Kang, can he do this tonight? Really not a lot of health here for Ricky. He's got 7 health, he does spot both, and he knows 7 health's not enough. He is going to go down, so... back and forth here. The first back and forth game of this best of 3. And we have USC 11, SJSU 12.
It's so close, dude. T-Side only wins with 1 player left alive and then 2 players left alive. It just shows you how important economy can be in this game. The CTs are going to save again. They're going to let this go 12-12 potentially, and then they're going to be able to buy. So CT's looking maybe for an op on their CT side. But... back and forth, like you mentioned, man. This is a good game. Like, this is nothing what I would have expected after watching the very first cast match at all. And then Mirage was the opposite. So it's just crazy that this is going to be such a close game so far. But Siren, he's been leading the way for his team into these bomb sites, getting those entries. Let's see if he can do it again.
It has been very, very, very much more fun to watch than the past few maps were. And so now we have this. Both of these teams vying to get to the final. And Hex is going to throw a flash. Oh, no. If he gets this sniffed out, he's actually going to get caught out, but finds one anyway. He gets caught out for it. They're walking into a stack, and they're actually paying for it. The terrorists are actually losing a lot of players, but the CTs... oh, look at this. Oh, AZN is about to meet King Derpy. King Derpy goes for it. Sees that. He gets him in midair. This is a huge round. The bomb down. And the terrorists... does spot him, and so now AZN needs to come up really quickly here with this frag. Goes for the flash, gets him the spray down. He doesn't get one, but he does hit him down enough. Before Magnus is going to finish that off. Siren here, 16 health against the 18 health of AZN. I have no idea.
Oh, that nade could have been the sealer, dude. But he didn't quite land it. Is he going to fake it all the way to B? No, that's too risky. Okay, I thought he was going to swoop all the way around. But he's planning in a spot for library. So this is kind of interesting.
Siren here. You know, you're right. I mean, this is a huge momentum shift. If the CTs can win this, huge. AZN. Uh-oh. He's not going to check this, is he?
Oh.
He does, but he gets his head ripped off. So Siren, again, absolutely insane move there with limited health to go plant and play that angle. And I'm a little surprised that AZN didn't know that because it was planted for library, but I'm not sure he was able to get it to where he could see it. So here comes a full buy from both these squads here, Heno. And what does SJSU really need to do to try to win this at this point, as they are now tied?
This round here is probably worth at least like 2 or 3 rounds, depending if you're on CTVT, because the money is just so close. I think that if you're SJSU and you buy the op, you need to let him get the picks first. But look at the aggression. What an odd angle for C-Dub here. But it's going to work out for him as he's not getting too aggressive and he can just fall off. But CT side, you need to let the op do its work first. Use your utility, smoke things off, force the T side to execute, and then go from there. But last round, SJSU can't be upset at all with what the outcome was. I mean, it was just a 1v1 at the very end after you buy pistols. So I'm sure they're happy with it as well. And Trojan's probably happy to just get away with that round. So... Hex looking to go into banana, but Ricky Shaw well aware of that, and then Antoine gets a kill as well. So 3v5 now. This is a very, very quick swing from a 5v5 and 2 opening kills. So Hex maybe getting a little bit too aggressive, and then Siren going for a pick as well, doesn't quite land it. But they're going to run into Antoine, who has the op on arch side. They need to either flash or smoke him out. That's what Mackey's probably looking to do.
Oh, and he dry peeks it. That's not good. He dry peeked it, and now they know where the op is, but they're in a 2v5. They're going to not have very much money if they lose this round. So there's a spot there. Antoine going for a 4K here. He does fall back. Does miss the shot, though. Does play USP and able to go down there. So now it's King Derpy. And a for this to happen, not going to work. So the round goes to CT side to Terrace. They don't have enough to buy here, and you're right. This was absolutely pivotal for them to do it. Antoine coming in huge that round with that op, and I think that's what they needed there. They needed him to have that op. They needed him to get a little bit more impact into the round, and now that they have done that, they do have USC on their heels right now.
Don't get here. The only thing you're thinking is about the CT team right now is don't get ecoed. If you get ecoed, you have 0 money next round. They have plenty of money because either they saved or they bought up and they got your gun. So this is a big round. CT should have it. But T-side, if they can do something quick and surprise the CTs, looks like they might do something fast towards mid. But they got smoked off, so that's not going to be the case. If you're CT, you need to make sure you use your utility, make sure you play passive, don't get picked, don't give them guns, and you should be able to pick up this round.
Those of you watching here, you have seen a fantastic third map here in this best of 3. USC Trojans against SJSU here. Make sure to give us a follow, twitch.tv/AVGL, as well as follow us on Twitter at awesome_GTV, at HenoCS. And really appreciate you guys being here today in this match. And the terrorists here really just need to get this bomb down. It would be huge for them to get the bomb down, as they're only going to get 1,900 if they lose this round. The bomb plant, so pivotal in a situation like this, but they are going to pick the A site. Antoine holding the angle. Doesn't get a kill, though, but he is going to at least notify the CTs to get ready for it, and he has to be back here. The terrorists coming all the way in here, and they're able to open this thing up and get the site on an eco like this. This is insane. Antoine going to find one, though, and this is a bad situation for the CTs. They need to win this round, because if they don't win this round, USC is going to be motivated as heck to be able to close this out. So Antoine, with this op, he's gonna have a hard time making this work here. I don't think he realizes how these players don't have any armor. There they come in. Ricky opening it up there with 2. Kirby coming in. This is such a pivotal shot. He is gonna get him through the wood. It's Hex and Kirby in a 1v1 going for it, and Hex gets it done. This is NACS at its finest here. USC Trojans come back and win that round. And what in the world went wrong?
Just can't get ecoed, man. Like, I think the pit player got caught with a nade in his hand as the player balcony. It was just unfortunate timing, CSGO timing. The guy was coming out of balcony with a Tech 9, jumped down into pit, killed the guy in pit. Once you go down in pit and you give up a gun, you are screwed. And now it's not a good scenario. Like, the CTs have to force now. So you went from being up around 13 to 12 with plenty of guns against utility, plenty of guns against pistols, to now you're on the opposite end. You're the ones with pistols. You're the ones with little utility, and you're playing against a team full of AKs. So you're at a huge advantage, and now you need to do the same thing that they just did to you. You need to win these rounds with pistols. It's going to be extremely hard. This game is just so close and so interesting to watch. 13 to 13 right now, with the CTs on their heels this time, because they've forced, and they have very, very little money coming into these next 2 rounds if they do lose.
Here we go here. USC. SJSU. We didn't expect it, Eddie. We didn't expect it to be this close, right? And now we're at a 13-13 venture, and this is the crossroad to possibly get map point. Both these teams, fragile economies, and I think it's going to come down to this round here. What's going to happen? The CTs are all alive, and that's the important thing here. They do have armor. That's also important. But there it is. Maki getting the first frag. That's going to open up this A side. And now you have to be very scared here if you are SJSU. They're going to play in sight and see what happens. So here they come. Magnus. See Magnus take stuff off. He's inside, goes for one. Gets one, but that's not enough. That's down to Ricky Shawno, 1v4. I think at this point he has to save, and he is.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I mean, what are
Yeah.
you going to do, man? So the CTs are going to get $1,900. So if you look at the money, Kirby's going to have 2K. Madness is going to have $2,200. Antoine's going to have 19. So Ricky Shaw isn't going to have enough to buy a FAMAS. So they have no money. They have to... I think on a map like Inferno, it's okay. If this was like Dust 2 or something, you might be able to force and get away with it because it's too risky. But I think you save next round. I think that Ricky Shaw... There's two ways you can play it. Play passive and just hope that they go to Ricky, or you buy up and play super aggressive with Ricky leading the way to try to make something happen. So it looks like we're going to have a pause possibly. The CTs to maybe talk about it a little bit. They're going to use their tactical timeout. So this one, man, is a barn burner, dude. Like, just that one eco round changed everything, and that's what it was. One round was going to change things drastically for the other team. The T side bought a few rounds ago. They were able to win a round, reset the economy for SJSU. SJSU swings right back. They won the round with 4 people left alive. And then USC Trojans ecos them with Tech 9s. It's just back and forth, and it's crazy. Like, this game is just so close, and 1 or 2 kills per round can be devastating to the other team.
Well, and now it's SJSU saying, hey, we can full save. I mean, I guess AZN could drop a few P250s, right? But they full save, and then it's going to be 15-13, or they force into this round and hope that the $2,400, or excuse me, the $2,400 that they get for the next round is enough. And I say in this situation you have to play for the OT. Okay, in this situation you cannot buy here, right? You put Ricky Shaw in a spot where he can play aggressive, maybe get a frag or two, and then you can maybe get some guns and maybe make something work. But if they buy here, I would be shocked. So like what I said here, AZN buying some pistols here. Ricky Shaw can afford to be under $2,000. Okay, 1,700, that's fine. You're gonna have 2,400. That'll work. Okay, so here it is. This last round here to decide who gets map point or if map point is not achieved. And they are actually not going to stack. Okay, we have not seen aggressive banana control from the CTs from both these teams, right? And so now they're setting up, I think, a bait and switch tactic there at banana. I'm not so sure about this, but we'll see what happens.
I don't like Ricky falling off. I think that he needs to like continue to play aggressive here so they can just trade away. He's going to play a little bit too passive. I think they're just going to check sandbags and kill this guy, but let's see what happens.
Good come-ups. Oh, my goodness. They're not going to check it. Kirby does have the info. Kirby, all the time in the world to make this work. Gets one. He's going to get traded, but he's got the info. He didn't see the bomb, but he did get some info. And I think with a P250, you need to at least 2 there. But getting 1 is okay, because now it takes the opper down. And none of these other guys, it looks like they want to pick up the op. I think they're just going to leave it there. I'm a little surprised they haven't thrown it out of the map yet. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see what happens here, as they might take it into the next round if they win it. And so now what was exciting initially was halted. And it looks like this is going to be a B hit, Heno.
That's what the CTs want, though, because that's where Ricky is with the M4.
So now Magnus playing in this smoke. He needs to cause a distraction when they try to cross. Gonna spray. Gets one with that P250, but he's gonna go down 1 for 1. And oh, Ricky, nothing there. And it's all down to AZN. 1v3. This is USC on the verge of going to the finals. AZN here really can't do much with the CZ, but if he does, I would be astonished. AZ here. He's thunder booting into here. He's making so much noise. This is dangerous here. He needs to get at least 1. Would be nice for his economy. And he isn't going to do anything there. He just gets his head ripped off. So 15-13, the scoreline. USC, they did lose the first map, but they came back, fought well in the next map, really turned the tide, and now it's down to this. Divide coming in. This is barn burner CS. You know, what are your thoughts on this last potentially last round?
the T's have enough money to the point where even if they don't win the round, so you need to play slow. USC has one objective. Do not die and let the CTs save as many guns as possible, right? So if you're going to lose a round, this is the two scenarios that you want. Win the round, end the game, or lose the round to the point where the CTs have very little guns, very little utility. So what you can do? Maki getting a kill on a Kirby. This is a good start so far. They tried to get aggressive on Banana, but got taken down. But you need to just get as many guns out of their hands as possible, even if you lose a round. So you don't want to do things crazy. You don't want to like waterfall, for example. You don't want to set up for the CTs can have just like a quick 4K or quick 5K. So play it slow, play it passive, work your picks, trade things, and just go from there. And then you can kind of work into the next one as well. But look at this B execute.
A fake.
It is a fake.
It's a
They're going
fake
to go towards brackets instead, yeah.
Yeah, they've got them split here. I know this is not good for the CTs as they are split completely. Here they come rolling in here. This is USC wanting to find a way to make this work. And it's down to Ricky, Sean, Antoine in a 2v3 to make this happen. They've got
No
Antoine
utility,
here.
though. This could be troublesome.
And Ricky Shaw is on such a long rotate. If they can spot him out, heck, should be able to spot him out. Gets him, takes some damage. It's Antoine in a 1v3 for the map. ISO here is going to get it. USC going to the upper bracket. Finals. 16-13, a nail biter. But they get it done. Siren, 28-4-20. The guy was an absolute monster. Not to say some of the other guys weren't. But talk about that game, Hannah. I mean, that was absolutely insane. The best of three we've seen in this tournament so far, and it comes down to this, a 16-13.
It's just so back and forth, and it really goes to show you how important the little things are. So if it's like a 2v4 situation, and you're the 2 CT trying to retake B bomb site, and they have 4 Ts left alive, some people would just say, go for it, go for it, go for it. But it really comes down to the economy. Like, you need to save. You need to make sure that you're going to have guns 2 rounds from now. You need to make sure that they, if you want to go for exits, you want to get guns out of their hands. So if you look at Counter-Strike as a whole, and you look at not just winning the rounds, but things come down to the very, very little points of economy, money, pistols, like everything adds up in the end. And then that map is a perfect example to show you that that's the reason why. So both teams played absolutely phenomenal. I think that this map could have gone to either team, absolutely either team, but I don't think I could have asked for a better third map. Like, after watching the first map and thinking to myself, well, SJSU is just going to blow them out of the water the second map. That wasn't the case. They got blown out of the water. And then the third map is just nuts too. So phenomenal best of 3. I'm excited to actually watch a little bit more Counter-Strike. I didn't know what to expect out of these guys, but this has been fun. I've casted a lot of like top tier. I've casted professionals before, and
Oh, you and I both. I mean, yeah.
This is exciting, dude. Like this, and it's funny because like even though you see like little errors here and there, you still see like their minds working and them being like, well, what can we do here and there? And then, you know, it's just really exciting to watch in the rounds how they form, and beautiful best of 3. And I'm excited to cast a little bit more. I can't today, obviously, but for you guys, I'm excited to watch a little bit more. That's pretty much it as far as the maps go. How do you feel about the 2?
Well, I mean, USC got stomped on Cash. They came back. They did a lot of good stuff on Mirage. They took mid-control when they needed to. They really stopped SJSU. Specifically, Antoine there wasn't able to really do much at mid. And I'm not blaming him for the loss, clearly. But they didn't do enough as a team to really get the respect from mid. So then USC comes up big. They did lose the pistol on Mirage. But, you know, just thinking in my head about what kind of laid out. I mean, the bottom line is that USC wins. They're going in the upper bracket. They are going to move on, and this is really all that matters for them at this point. Is they are going to be in a situation where they have to be happy. They have to say, you know, we're here, we're happy, and we're doing everything that we can. And you know, really a lot of respect for both these teams. And you and I both have casted some really exceptional professional teams, but that map was really just a great game to watch. I was really happy to see it.
Absolutely.
Really happy to bring it, you know, for the audience here at AVGL. So yeah, that's really all I got on that front. So really not much else to talk about other than USC nail biting it out, and especially that round. You remember that round where there was no utilities; they only had pistols, and they did an A hit. The nade was out by somebody in pit for SJSU. They came in, flooded in. Antoine missed a couple op shots there, and what happened is they flooded in and they won the round. And it's just some of the stuff that happened in this game was just absolutely phenomenal.
It's crazy. So if you're an upcoming player and you want to get to be the best of the best, like don't just focus on like the big things that matter. You got to focus on the little things too, like pulling out that nade, exactly like you said. Because he pulled out a nade at the wrong time, it cost them maybe the whole match. You know what I mean? Not just that in particular, but if he didn't pull out a nade at that time, it would have been different. So you're right. It's just it's crazy to think that like there's such small things that can play a huge impact on what's going to happen later on in the half. But I don't know, man. I've had so much fun casting with you, and this is the first time we've cast together. And I
Oh
think
yeah,
that,
it's been great, man. I thought our cohesion was really good, and we really kind of got
yeah.
to know each other well. And
Well, I
I
mean,
think
chat
I
might
think it
think
worked.
differently, but you know,
Well,
I'm just kidding.
it's
Chat's always nice. Chat's always
chat.
nice.
It is Twitch chat. We have to thank them
It's always
for
Switch
the
chat.
good and the bad because they are able to give us a lot of kappas. Give us
Kappas.
give us a lot of good criticism and as well as some things that aren't warranted. But that being said, I think that's why everybody loves Twitch chat is for both sides of the coin. As far as both sides of the coin for USC, they're going to the finals, and that's really the bottom line here.
Do you think that we're going to see these two teams in the finals? You think they're going to come back from the lower bracket?
I mean, I don't know. It's
We
too
might see
close.
it.
It's too close.
That'll be super exciting if that does come down to it. But I just want to thank AVGL for letting me cast this. Pete, our producer, has been phenomenal as well with everything on point. So yeah, I don't know, man. Do we want to wrap things up? Like, what do
Yeah,
you?
let's go ahead and wrap
I
this
mean, I
up.
love you, but I got a birthday to go to, dude. I'm in
No,
trouble.
no, you're fine. Well, I want to say thank you to AVGL here again for having me as my first cast with them, but really happy to be here and look forward to being here in the future as well. We should have another map coming up here soon. We're going to go ahead and take a break and try to figure the situation out. In the meantime, stay in the chat, hang out with us. Really appreciate everybody being here for Awesome Sauce and Heno for our first cast together on AVGL. We will be back soon. Take it easy, guys. We'll be right back.